Welcome to my blog .stampwithelaine.com and welcome to the 7th episode of my 2015 Countdown to Christmas series. There are 12 Christmas theme projects running in consecutive weeks on a Wednesday. I started these in September because our diaries get so busy in December that I wanted my series to finish in the first week of December. Do you remember this Sweet Stack project kit in our annual catalogue? When it first launched, everyone was wanting to buy this darling little cake stand with the two-tiered cake boxes. You need the cake box die, and this is what you can transform it into. The supplies you need are the Cutie Pie Thinlits die, and it's this die in particular that you need. We will also be using the Perfect Pines framelits as well as the Peaceful Pine stamp set. Now you can buy both of these together in order to save yourself 15%. You will need cherry cobbler and Versamark ink, heat and stick powder, dazzling diamond heat tool. This one is a UK plug. You need an A4 sheet of cherry cobbler cardstock, some Whisper White Meadow cardstock, and of course your Big Shot and magnetic platform, and last but not least the white chalk marker and a fine tip glue pen. Bring in your magnetic platform, base cutting plate. I'm going to layer my cardstock one on top of the other and cut them both at the same time. And then you want your cake box die face down. Now I would leave as much space as possible and cut it economically, because we need another triangular piece, which is this bit here, to be cut out of the spare piece of cardstock. Then you place your top cutting plate on top and you're ready to run it through the Big Shot. So I'll do that off camera. So I've cut my two pieces. So I'll take one of those pieces away, and I need to cut the triangular piece. So I'm not worried if this doesn't go fit onto the paper. Really what I want is just this bit here. So place that on my base cutting plate, top cutting plate on top, and then I'll run it through the Big Shot again. One of the pieces that you have a tab here at the end of your cake box. You don't need two, so you just want to cut away that flap on one of the boxes and follow the line. And discard that bit. And then with the extra piece that you cut for the top of the cake box, you do the same. You only want the triangular bit, so you follow the lines made here and cut that. Take your Versamark ink pad, and now you want to cover the whole of this triangular piece, because we're going to apply heat and stick powder to it. Now I tried to use glimmer paper and then paint the glimmer paper with ink dyes and an aqua painter, but the colour didn't come out as intense as I wanted it to. So then I did this method, and I was much happier with the results. As you can see, the dazzling diamonds will take on any colour. Because it's clear, it will take on any colour of the cardstock. So with this one you can see it's taken on the blue, and in this one there is the green. Now we're ready to coat the cardstock with the heat and stick powder. So I'm just dipping it into these boxes. There's about 4 or 5 tubs in just one of these boxes of heat and stick powder. I just think it makes it easier to work with if I do it this way. And then a heat tool. And you see it change colour. So next you want to dip it into your dazzling diamonds. And you just heat it up again to reset it. Before I cut my tree, I just wanted to show you what the Perfect Pines Framelits dies comprises of. So you have 3 trees with 3 different sizes, and then this one, I'll be using that to cut in a minute, so you'll see what effect it has. This one cuts little holes so that it looks like fairy lights, and these are bigger holes. This one is an ornament punch. You actually stamp the ornaments together. It's one stamp, and you cut them together. And then there's a single ornament one there, the flower pot, and this one that looks like a tag is probably the one for the present under the tree. And of course you have your star. So I want to stamp my little present, which is this stamp here, in cherry cobbler. So again, I need my foam mat underneath. And I'll get this cut in the big shot off camera. This time I want to cut my tree. This is a 2-step cutting method. You cut your tree out first, so it's the same principle: magnetic platform, base plate, cardstock, die, top cutting plate to make your cutting sandwich, and then I'll run this through the big shot. Then you need to bring your tree back in. It's the medium-sized tree that we're using. Then you take this other piece and place it on top. And then top cutting plate, and you run it through the big shot again. This is what it will look like when you finish cutting it. It is still within the boundaries of the tree, and then you just poke it out with a piercing tool, and it will give you this effect. Can you see it? And then you can actually pop those up to give it a feathered look. I think that's really cool. Now you're probably wondering why we didn't put both the templates together and then cut it. It's because that means this die will be sitting on top of the tree die, and even though it's just millimeters above the cutting surface, it could make all the difference. So I've actually cut it separately. Cut the tree first, then cut the doobies, I don't know what you call it. Cut these internal bits. Then I want to take my fine tip glue pen and just put a tiny bit of glue on the tips. Use my dazzling diamonds and sprinkle it on. The original plan was just to place that on top like that, but it's lost on this background. So I've gone and cut a bigger tree. This is the largest one. That's the trunk of. And glue that on top of this other tree, which will then look a lot better against this. What do you think? I've glued this mossy meadow tree bit with the special cuts, and then just pop a couple of dimensionals on the back. Now we need to burnish the lines on our cake box. Then we need to put tear and tape on the flaps, but I think I'll use my scissors for accuracy here. Remove the protective layers and join the cake boxes together. Make sure they are aligned correctly. You need to take time over this because it needs to be accurate. Then take the other section off, fold the surplus tape back, join the ends together, before you join the top on. And then with the help of a bone folder, you can make sure that that's down properly. And you're ready to pop this on top. So it's easier to put your Tombow on the top of your box than it is to put it on your piece that you're going to attach. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as though I've got room to put the little present down there. So we'll have to leave that aside, and we'll put one of these buttons on the top instead. And to finish off, we'll just use this cherry cobbler stripe ribbon. We'll just tie a knot. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial and will be inspired to make lots and lots of your own. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week with another Christmas project.